Hey, today we're going to talk about range of motion in your body and how that's actually what makes your golf swing natural and help you get to impact more consistently. So I recently did a show and we had probably a couple hundred people on the show, and I was explaining how I never actually try to square the club face at impact. And so that concept, because I get a question quite often where people ask me, how do you square the face, or how do you consistently square the face? And a lot of times when I'm working with students, they're attempting to be square at impact. And that's something that I never ever worry about. I never have practiced being square at impact. However, I end up square at impact, the club face does. And so you have to ask the question, well, what is creating a square club face? And if you never have to really think about it, how is it occurring? And I put some thought into that, and thinking through that for you, I can make squaring a face natural, but it's actually very simple how it happens. And there's a really important reason on how it happens every single time I swing a golf club. And it also emphasizes the importance of the positions of your body. We're going to go into all this today, of how the positions you place your body in and you learning these positions affects what I call range of motion, the range of motion of your body. And I can actually show you, and I can do a number of demonstrations for you, that I can limit the range of motion of your body naturally, right? Okay, so what does that mean? Well, I can show you how I can stop your body from moving by putting it in some natural positions. So two things are very important about that when it comes to the golf swing. Number one is obviously you're moving. A golf swing is a set of movements. It starts, you rotate back, you leverage the club, you stabilize the body, and you rotate through. So the golf swing is a series of movements. We all get that. But it's also about stopping the body. And so we got to talk about this. In the next video, we're going to talk about the braking system, but range of motion is how the club face actually squares. Because here's the thing. If I can put my body in certain positions, it will naturally only go so far. Let me give you two of my normal examples of this. So one example is this. And I had a conversation with one of my students one day. We were having dinner. I always make such great friends with my students. So I was having dinner with her and her husband, and she says to me, she goes, "Todd, I'm a lady, and I can move my pelvis more than most people." And I said, no, you can't. Watch. Let me show you. I can limit the amount your pelvis rotates. It's not that I want you not to rotate your pelvis, but I can limit that. Let me show you how I do it. So if I put it starts with the feet, because the feet, whether they're turned in or turned out, affects how the knees work. Well, if I put my feet where I want them, watch what happens. If I put this foot sort of straight like I walk, maybe slightly rotated, and I put this foot turned out, okay? And I tilt my body slightly, I can go back. But if I keep my feet on the ground, okay, it limits the amount I rotate. If I work against that leg, I'm limited. Notice how if I lift my foot, it allows me to rotate further, right? So do you want foot lift, or do you want to keep it on the ground? Keep it on the ground reduces the amount of rotation you have. So foot position limits how much my pelvis can go. Do you see how my body's working now? So if I keep my feet on the ground, it limits my rotation, okay? If I turn the foot even more, it limits it a little bit more. If I turn it less, I can get more, okay? But watch what happens. That's the backswing. Now in the downswing, I go this direction. Notice how my knee is stopping here. In actuality, it's stopping the hip. This side can continue as this side gets stable and stops moving. So what you're seeing is, by the position of this knee, because of the foot, this gets stable and this continues. So I've limited this direction. So notice, I'm just demonstrating for you how by positioning my feet correctly, it can adjust how much my pelvis can move in both directions. Okay, look at the upper body. If I'm tilted, okay, and I stay tilted. Now, my lower body being what it is, right? Foot rotation, it being limited. Notice how this gets limited. See how much rotation is limited here? Okay, makes some sense, right? I can't go that far. Now, when I go into the knee and I go into side bend and rotation, look at this. I get limited again. Now, you might say, well, Todd, that's slowing you down. It's actually not. It's actually going to help me speed up, because when I'm able to stop and move, I can then accelerate other parts of my body. So what's allowing me to do is position things to accelerate them. In other words, we'll talk about this in my next video. But if I stop certain parts, it allows me to have a support system to accelerate other parts. But here's what I want to talk about as far as squaring the face. So how does this relate? So watch what happens now, and go back to my previous concept video about my upper body orientation and my hand position. But let's just have you guys assume that this is a perfect grip, right? And that's where the face is square. Let me walk you through the swing and how the face squares without me even trying. Another range of motion issue is your upper arm. Now this is an important one because this arm dictates club face, right? Look how much I can rotate the face. So if I take the club like this and I just stand straight up, I can rotate the face this much. That's a lot, right? Too much. So let's say I want to limit how much the face can actually rotate during my swing. This is really cool. So if I turn my arm, if I go into a tilt, okay, which is what's happening in the swing, if I go into a tilt and I turn my arm as far this way as I can and I keep this shoulder isolated, in other words, I'm not gonna let it turn. Watch this. Watch, if I don't move my upper arm, okay, so shoulder to elbow does not move, keeping it still as I'm tilted, and I only turn my elbow down, my hand can't go past where the face would be square. All right, that's a very, very important concept. I'm gonna show you the golf swing without a golf club and show you what's happening now. That exact thing I just showed you occurs during swing motion. I'm going into the backswing. Remember how I said this happens? That just happened. That just happened in the backswing. I stabilize. I'm keeping it this direction as I'm coming down. See that? It's staying this direction. Now watch this. As I'm getting into this area, watch this. Square, square, square. And so what's happening is the swing motion, because I'm tilted, has isolated the shoulder, so the only thing left is the square. Here's what's important about that. If my grip is good, I'm gonna make a kind of a slow motion swing here. Here we are again, coming down. Look at the lead arm in that rotation. I get down here, look at the lead arm higher, and then this squares. Now, what I try to do is, because I know that this is gonna square every single time, all I care about is swinging through. All I care is about getting to my finish. So I start here, take it back, and I get to my finish, because I know that if I'm in this position, it's gonna square at the bottom. So my concept for you is never swing at the ball. Never swing at the ball, because that would entail you trying to get this to square. Let it square from positioning. Watch this, I'll hit this shot, the face will get perfectly square at the bottom because of this position I'm putting myself in. And it squares every time. I don't try to square it. I'm not trying to square. I get here and it rotates to square because this part is isolated. Again, back to the concept. Range of motion. I've limited this range by positioning the body, putting the upper arm into a stabilized position, and then limiting how much I can actually rotate it. And because I've learned the position of the swing, which is what you should do, all these things combined, lower body, upper arm thing, square the face. And this is just an accelerator. This just basically skips rocks and goes fast. That's a lot, but I hope that helps you understand that this natural movement is occurring, because it's a natural movement. I'm not trying to do any of this. I'm simply just positioning my body in a way. Watch this again. It's all about positioning it correctly here, starting with lead arm, positioning correctly here. Look at my feet are on the ground. And then staying in side bend, because that allows this to isolate. All those things create the limitations that always square the face. Lots of information. I hope that helps. Click the bell icon, give me a thumbs up. See you next video.